So guys, I'm going to introduce the players of today. Liquid HayprO is of course Swedish Zerg spawning in the right side, the left side of the map as the red Zerg. And EG is very on PuMa. It's orange this time. Thank you, PuMa. I always love seeing orange. I fancy orange, Ben. You know that me. You know me. I'm Dutch. I'm biased towards orange people and players.
I know. I know the drill, Kev. I'm used to hearing it. You talk about your orange tie every week. Yeah, but you still haven't had a chance to don the orange tie.
Talking about orange ties, I had a little ladder session last night. I thought it's my birthday, so maybe the people on Betternet are nice to me, but the opposite is true, Ben. They were really not that nice to me. I've got all in left and right, blind counted, and I also played pretty bad a couple of games. So I think I managed to win 5 games and lose 15.
Oh, not man. Bad. I would feel bad for you if that wasn't how most of my ladder sessions go.
It's so crazy. It's just one of those days where you're like, a few games before I go to sleep. I have to work tomorrow, but it's okay. I don't have to be in until 11, so I can play a little bit. Start at 12. At 4:30, I'm smashing my keyboard around. It's like, I'm gonna sleep. Then I won 2 games, and I shouldn't even have won them. But then I was like, okay, I'm 2-0 right now.
Time to quit.
Time to quit.
2-0, still pretty good.
No, normally I would feel like that, man. Doesn't matter how many games you lose, as long as you win that final game, you're like, wow. That wasn't too bad, but no, yesterday...
It was not a good day for ladder, huh?
Yesterday was a poor day.
I can go ahead and confirm that in NASL matches in Season 3, Zerg is still yet to win on dual side. So
in every matchup?
In ZVT.
Yeah, because I was about to say.
No, Zergs are doing well in ZVP on dual side.
Of course they are. PuMa once more going for the no gas fast expand. We saw PuMa go for a benchy opening before. You know what I liked a lot about the GSL, by the way, when it was that they have like these openings, like went refinery so many times in this map. I think that's cool, and I could actually do that myself since I have those stats. But now actually I didn't prepare them. I just thought about that on the spot. So in the future, guys, I'm gonna tell you, PuMa went 3 times, 5 times benchy opening. Rah, 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 rah. I think that would make me look really smart. What do you think?
I think you always look really smart, Kev.
I'm not too sure about that. I think last night I didn't look very smart. The people on ladder must have thought I was not a very smart player. It's deep. The pain is deep, as you can hear.
You sound like me after I lost to Andre in the foot race. I was so angry for like a whole week after that. Andre's fast, man.
Andre is fast, but I've seen someone who's a lot faster.
I don't know, man. I think Andre runs like a majestic animal.
I want to focus on StarCraft and not on Andre's runs. Okay. We can talk about this the other day. And the grass is always greener, man, at the end of the season.
I'm just saying, he's fast. Like, he's deceptive. His little legs get going. We do have another Hellion opening here for PuMa. He's going to be swapping out that factory with the barracks so he can be producing them 2 at a time momentarily. And HayprO, once again, is staying gasless.
Maybe PuMa is thinking never change the winning team or a formula in this case, and that he's just going to follow it up once more with cloaked banshees, since he did throw those refineries down pretty much at the exact same moment as he did on Antiga's shipyard. And I can't blame him because that worked out really, really well. Then again, I can hardly imagine that HayprO would play a similar style on dual side as he did on Antigua. The maps are just so extremely different. This third wave is so much more exposed for just Hellion run-bys that it would almost be suicide to play like he did on Antigua.
Kev, I feel the exact same way, but he's doing to a T the same build. I mean, everything is identical thus far for HayprO. He's getting the spine crawler and the gas at the same time, and
Roach Warren as well?
Yeah, Roach Warren at the same time. So everything identical for HayprO. So maybe he just feels like he was sloppy, and that was the reason for his loss. And I don't think that's incorrect. That wasn't the HayprO I'm used to seeing on Antigua.
No, he was indeed sloppy from time to time. Then again, Antigua is just a lot easier to play like this, also because the map is a lot better, but he is selling out that drone. He has a lot of money, but he ends up losing this one drone. That's of course the beauty for PuMa from dual side, like, oh, those Hellions lower my ramp pretty much in your natural. You know, that's how it goes. It's almost like Steps of War, man.
A little bit. Certainly in the case of the Hellion, as they are so fast, crossing the map in 0 time.
I was exaggerating.
No, man. It's the exact same thing. Okay. HayprO really content on taking this expansion.
Yeah, despite already seeing those 4 Hellions there, it's just crazy. He's going to produce 4 Roaches now. Once more, PuMa focusing that drone straight away. Smart play by PuMa. Small details, but very important. He's going to delay that hatch even longer.
I noticed HayprO's money just skyrocketing, Kev. He's building 4 Overlords right now. He's still up around 1,000 minerals. Finally manages to get a hatchery down, and it's not anywhere. It's in his base. It's a macro hatch.
It is a macro hatch. Now taking a look at PuMa's main base so far, he started adding those reactors on those barracks. What are you going to add on this factory? Well, actually, he's already building a starport, but the starport is this time connected to the reactor. So this is the style of PuMa that I actually thought we were going to see in game 1, where he just opens a few Hellions and then goes for really quick Marines. And so far, single engineering by I believe, but he's going to have 60 Marines with Stim and Medevacs really early in this game, and it can be very hard for Zerg to deal with if you want to play that Roach infested.
It'll be very, very difficult for HayprO to deal with because he has, once again, skipped those Banelings. He's just got Roaches out. And as we saw on Antigua, Stim Marines with Medevac support, they kind of own Roaches. I mean, like early game, Roaches, they trade pretty effectively with Marines, but once Marines hit a certain mass and once they get those upgrades, and especially when they have Medevacs healing them, Roach is not so hot against Marines.
And you gotta love that new Terran style, man. They make about the same amount of Medevacs as they do with Marines. And that's very good.
It's definitely good against Infestor playstyles, which is, I guess I've been kind of sounding like a broken record today.
I think it's good against everything that does damage over time rather than kills units one by one. And obviously Roaches attacking in a concave attack many Marines at once, so the more Medevacs the better, and the harder it is for Roaches to actually finish off Marines.
PuMa being really effective with these Hellions, just picking off whatever tumors he can and then getting out of there before HayprO's ever able to catch him. So many Marines being built at once. Hater's lair is still not done, so there's just not any real anti-infantry stuff in the army of HayprO. He's going to have to get a great engagement. He's going to need a big surround.
Well, 4 Medevacs right now, Ben, with 18 Marines on the field. Combat Shield is more than halfway done as well. PuMa's going to spot these Roaches here, which are very exposed. Stimpack being used right now.
It's not a fight you can win, HayprO, and he is going to retreat, but he's going to retreat off of creep, losing more than just a handful of Roaches. I think 4 or 5 Roaches falling there.
And look at the income tab. It's 51 SCVs against only 52 drones. So even if PuMa is just making trades right now, it's going to be very good for him, since his third base is also halfway done.
Now we are going to have another big engagement here. Zerglings and Roaches attacking in tandem. Now they work well together, but once the Lings are gone, the Stim Marines doing not that bad. HayprO's microing pretty well, but still, it's just Marines with Stim under Medevacs, they're just good against everything, Kev.
And that certainly includes the Roaches. You can see nice micro there by PuMa as well. Look at that, how he's pulling away all those Marines, which took a little bit of damage. HayprO ends up losing pretty much all of his Roaches. A couple of low HP Roaches. I mean, HayprO tried to micro well as well, but it's just hard. When your opponent has the faster units, he's in a position to micro and not you.
You really need Banelings against this kind of an early attack, and it's showing so much right now. More Lings going to try to stream in, but they're marching in single file, and that's just not very good against these Marines. More Stims, more good control by PuMa, and HayprO, I think he's just dead, Kev.
I'm afraid so, man. He's 51 drones right now against 59 SCVs for PuMa. His third orbital is more than halfway done. He barely lost any Marine. How many units did PuMa lose this game, man? 1,100 resources. Only lost 17 units throughout this entire game.
Yeah, very, very few. And he's still microing well and trying to trade effectively against HayprO. Picking off another Queen. Only 4 Roaches remaining, and PuMa's just going to march right forward. He doesn't seem to care. He'll challenge that Spore Crawler and that Spine Crawler and whatever Roaches are left. It's 115 supply to 90, but man, the game is much less close than those supplies indicate. The last of HayprO's units melting away. Spine Crawler also going to die, and
Spore Crawler's doing a pretty good job, man. It's not 2 Medevacs. That's more than most of the other units managed to do.
Did a great job, and well, HayprO may actually clean up this wave of the push, but I feel like it doesn't matter. PuMa's got such a huge advantage now. He's securing his third base. If HayprO can win right now, then that's awesome, but I just don't see it happening.
He's getting 2-1 upgrades now as well.
Well, tanks are already out. Yeah, PuMa's in such a good position.
Yeah, Siege is not ready yet, though. That's a pretty big deal against Roaches. Then again, HayprO does not know what we know. He doesn't have the vision that we have, and it would almost be suicide just to attack with a couple of Roaches. He's going to try to fall back and drone behind this. Maybe he's able to snipe off a couple of SCVs as long as Siege isn't ready, but he has to be careful for a really big group of Marines as well, because, I mean, this is 12 Roaches. Okay, that's decent, but if you suddenly run into 22 or 24 Stim Marines on the Medevacs, you're not going to be able to achieve all that much.
I agree with you, Kev, and I don't...
Actually, you're just going to end up losing all your units.
Yeah.
I tried to bring it nicely for all the Zerg fans out there.
I hate to keep saying it, but you just have to have Banelings against this kind of a playstyle.
It's funny how close it right now is on the supply tab, though. It's 123 against 126. PuMa's macros lacking perhaps maybe a little bit. Oh, we have a drop going on in the back of HayprO's base. Sorry, guys, did not see that.
Spore Crawler does pick off the Medevac, and the Roaches will clean up the remainder, but I mean, the supplies being close, that's really more a factor of the Roach than anything else. It's 16 Roaches against 25 Marines, and that's basically all HayprO has. He's got a handful of Lings out. and PuMa just looks so secure everywhere. He's got the bunker in his natural, the bunker in his third base. He's got a big army. Tanks are out.
Spire being morphed in now as well. And he's even upgrading to Hive, so HayprO really has faith that he can bring this into very late game.
Now, if he can stall until that Hive's done and he can get some of that Tier 3 tech out in play, then maybe something might be possible. But PuMa does not look like he wants to let that happen. He's already moving through the center of the map as he sends out a couple of drops.
I mean, that's something that used to happen back in the days very often when Terrans were like, all right, I'm quite far ahead, nothing can happen anymore. Suddenly Broodlords would be out, but of course Terrans get better and better by playing against these quick Broodlord style more and more often. And even though this wouldn't be super quick, HayprO is doing the right thing though. He's going for a counter, and that's something that you want to do. If you have to buy time somehow, then you might as well try to counter, and he's actually forcing PuMa to retreat right now.
Yeah, it's a great choice. PuMa's drop has stalled out. He's going to kill a handful of units, and he's pulled the army of HayprO back out of position. Oh, I'm sorry, the army of PuMa. If HayprO was really paying attention, he might be able to pick off a siege tank or two. Maybe.
No,
that's not going to work. The bio's too close at hand. And now that drop's moving in. It has denied the expansion down in the bottom right. There's no units really here at the third base to help defend. So while PuMa was able to be delayed a little bit, HayprO's still with his back up against the wall. It's going to be very tough to make a defense here.
And it wasn't for free either. Ooh, nice pickup right there by PuMa. Make sure that all those Marines are in the medevac already. PuMa right now making his way into the natural. All those infestors were so exposed.
They do land a pretty good fungal, picking off a lot of those Marines. HayprO is going to push forward one final time. Drops a big fungal on a lot of medevacs, but the problem here is just it's the damage output of the Zerg army. It's not enough, and PuMa maxed out, or nearly maxed out. HayprO dipping down below 100 supply, forced it to GG, and PuMa, the safe bet indeed, Kev, carries it through 2-0 convincingly.
Wow, PuMa just keeps on steamrolling through this group. He's 5-0 in best of 3s right now, and he's 10-1 in maps, man. That's crazy. Unbelievable.
He's so dominant.
PuMa must really love the NASL. Yeah. Did you ever think what he did with all that NASL prize money? I kind of wonder.
You think he's bought like a vacation house in Fiji?
In Fuji? I wonder. Maybe at the Bahamas?
Yeah.
PuMa at the Bahamas. That would be pretty cool. We cannot repeat those words.
Oh, man. So very well played there by PuMa. He does continue his path of dominance. Unfortunate turn of events for HayprO, who it's going to be almost impossible for him to qualify for the playoffs at this point. He can still win some money, though, as it's $150 every time you pick up a W.
Theoretically, it's still possible if he would go 5-4. There are definitely ways that he could still make it into the playoffs. But, I mean, he has an 0-4 start right now. He would be, I have to speak that, or I have to cheat that. He's 2-8 in maps right now, including today's loss. Yeah, that's just not very good, which is sad because he played really good in the first few weeks. Against Cloud, he played so well the first game of the season. Against Zenio, he played really quite well. Certainly that map on Shakura, as I remember, was a really cool game. But yeah, today against PuMa just wasn't HayprO's day. We could talk long and short about it. But he played very sloppy in game 1. He forgot a lot of stuff, forgot important upgrades, split his macro a little bit. And game 2, I don't know. Yeah,
but just stylistically, he didn't match up well with PuMa. That Roach-Ling style.
I have to agree.
Yeah, against Stim Marines, medevacs, and a handful of tanks, it's just not going to cut it. So that series, that game was brought to you by Azo monitors. You can get your own discount on an Azo monitor at nasl.tv, 25% off, so go pick up one of those.